back to another episode on Two Puerto Ricans and a Black Girl. Today, everything seems a little different, right? Our girl Jack isn't here today, so a shout out to her. We love and we miss her.
Love you, love you, love you.
And we're going to do something a little different, have a little twist. Mimi, would you like to tell them?
Yes, so today we're going to be giving commentary on another YouTube channel called The Roommates. Shout out to the Roommates. They're doing an episode with a young lady, and her name is Rebecca Lynn Pope, and they're talking about relationships between men and women. And we thought it was very, would you say controversial? Not controversial, but I guess people are going to feel some kind of way.
It's a little something. It has a little spice.
It's a little spice. Okay, yeah. So we wanted to give a commentary on that since our girl is not here. We switch it up a little bit today. And yeah. So don't have a question today because we're going to give our commentary. So check this out.
Oh, please.
I say date like a man.
Okay.
Ooh,
if you're a really highly successful woman who's doing very well financially, men don't date with those standards. You date with who makes you happy.
What if she can't get over that? She's like, I want somebody on my level.
Good luck. Have at it. Go for what you want. But I'm just letting you know that your pool of men that are making the kind of money you're making is so slim to none. And then those men don't want you because a lot of them are doing so well. Pussy and money.
Okay.
This is the equalizer. This is what comes
Lord
in.
Jesus.
Women use pussy, vagina, say, oh,
Jesus.
I got him with this sex, right? Men use money.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause it right there. Jesus, I'm hot.
Ooh, child.
Put in money. Jesus Christ. It's a little steamy for the two Puerto Ricans and Black Girl.
It's a little steamy for the sisters here.
What do you think? She says date like a man.
Well, I get what she's saying because men, I think she's saying date boldly, like, and date openly like how men do. Like they leave their options more open. Was that, I think that's my takeaway from it. And yeah, like you said, the question about, you asked, what do I think about her saying vagina and money? I think it's she's speaking boldly, but she's speaking truthfully.
I think it is.
Yeah, that is sometimes what men and women do. Men get women and these beautiful women, and like you said, women that sometimes that they wouldn't have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that they wouldn't even have the gumption or the heart to go to, but they feel, more because of the money. Mm-hmm. And they know that they have the money, so they know that they're going to get women like this. Exactly. And a beautiful woman knows that she can get a man because she's a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
But
a woman when the positions are flipped around and she says date like a man, then how are women perceived if we date a man just because he's eye candy, or just because he's younger, or just because he's the trophy man? The roles are reversed. Men look a little, they're people's opinion about a man would be completely different than people's opinion about a woman if they were to flip those roles around.
Well, I always think that it's a double standard, unfortunately. It is what it is. It's always a double standard. But when she said date like a man, I think she's saying that men leave more room to date different types of women.
Oh, as opposed to having a pigeonholed our criteria of man. Right.
Where women, we want this man with 6 figures, and we want him to be 6 foot tall, and we want him to have 10s across the board. Where sometimes you have to not. I wrote this down. You're not settling. You're just being flexible.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not selling, it's being flexible where, it's like, how many men are out there like that? And it's not nothing, no dig to the men, where they making a high six figures. They got ideal credit. They, doing, some of those things, every man that doesn't have that, and every man that doesn't have that there are good men out there that don't have that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That just make, and I don't want to say just, because I feel like for me, and this would be my standards, because another woman's standards would be that 80,000 isn't a lot. Like for a man, for me, if he was making 80,000, that's a good salary.
That's a good salary with two people
it's
making
a good salary, but to some women it wouldn't be. But for me, so that's what I'm getting from her too. That that you just have to, like, sometimes just be a little bit more flexible,
more open,
and more open in what you're doing.
Let me continue to see what else Miss Rebecca Lynn Hope has to say. Lord.
Money is this equalizer. These men get access to women that they would never have access to because of money.
That's so true.
Women do it because men will sleep with just about anything.
That's true.
And especially if it's private or secret and no one has to know.
Right.
So I've seen women who are 5s, but they're sleeping with a dude who's a 9.
Yeah.
She's got these ridiculous standards because she actually thinks this means that a man on that level would be with her. But he would never be with her. He's just using her for sex. But she thinks because her vagina has given her access to these men here that.
Okay, I gotta pause, because automatically the Terminator and the housekeeper. Automatically.
Automatically, what you say?
It took me to the Terminator and the housekeeper.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. Explain.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and his and the side piece, the housekeeper.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
She is complete. When I saw her, I was like, I mean, no shade. I was like, wow. Because he's a man of a certain status.
Right.
His wife, was beautiful. You would think that your side piece is going to be even more beautiful, or, and as society dictates as what beauty is, constitutes beauty, right? And then
but you know what, that's never the case, right? It's just like how people say, oh, this beautiful woman, beauty really has nothing to do with a man sleeping with you.
Not at all.
Or even when a man leaves you, it's like, oh, he left her, she's so beautiful. No, it's plenty of beautiful women out here. But as far as with the sex thing, I mean, it just going to not saying that it's right, but it is what it is, that most of the time men have sex, they're having sex with a woman. That's just what it is. They're having sex with a woman
with no emotional ties. Like, men are able to have that disconnect, where some women, most women, I would like to think, right, I think I'm correct, always has like some type of emotion invested. Most women. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what else, Rebecca.
This is the standard. Men, money. They would never have access to these women, but the money gives them access to this. So for women who are very successful and you want to only date those men in that pool, that men with money have access to women that are not on their level. Do you think he wants you? Unless you're a drop dead gorgeous successful woman who has the body and all the looks to go along with your money, and even then they hardly still want you because they feel like they're in competition with you. And there's all this underlying dynamic around, and women don't like when I talk about this.
Speak the truth, Rebecca. Why were you here?
There's a difference between being pretty and being gorgeous.
Okay, before I hear Rebecca, do you think there's a difference between being pretty and being gorgeous?
Well, I guess it depends on, to each his own, right? On that. I mean, that's like saying, oh, somebody is cute. Like, it's just like, oh, this person has more features that you would think that more of an exotic person, when you'll count them as pretty, or this person has little dimples and stuff and they're so cute, Yeah, but that's very to each, to each his own. But as she goes on, the audience will see, she's going to explain that between pretty and gorgeous, like where I see Rebecca is a very pretty woman, you know, but what she's saying is that she's not perfect. Like her husband loves her with all her flaws and everything. But she's saying that gorgeous women are gorgeous with their clothes off, no flaws. They don't have shit. They don't have cellulite. They don't have, you know, and they can wear. You will see when she finishes. So that's what she's giving the distinction a little bit between pretty and gorgeous. You know.
Let's see.
No, a lot of women will be like, I'm pretty. I don't understand. I'm pretty. I'm pretty. I'm pretty. Like, yeah, you're pretty, and you're pretty with your clothes on.
Yeah.
But there's women who are drop dead gorgeous but naked.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother level.
Like the difference between a guy makes good money's $80,000 and some people who make $80 million.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like there, you know, and women don't understand that there's, from a visual perspective, there's this spectrum for men. You know, there's like levels to this. I learned, and what I'm speaking about really comes from matchmaking, you know, because I would deal with very high net worth men and they want a look. They want a woman, and it is not, you know, you got to be able to put on a bikini. Yeah. And be looking good on his arm in a bikini. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a tiny bikini, like little eye patch bikinis that just look like, you know, and that's what women don't like this stuff, but it's like, because they feel like, well, I deserve the millionaire too. Honey, the millionaire is looking for the fitness model that could wear an eye patch and walk right through here. No cellulite, no jiggle, no anything, you know, it's just sitting. I mean, I've personal experience with this stuff, you know.
You have something to say about that part?
I was saying, how you feeling? Because I saw you over there shaking your head.
girl, because I think that that's just so superficial, but that's the world that we're living in now anyway.
Yeah.
I should want to be able to put on a bikini. And if if I have a little cellulite, a little something, my man should be able to still think I'm sexy. You know?
Yeah, that's right. You are 110% correct. I feel like what she's saying is that she's saying that these men, that these women are going after with these 1% men, these men with these 7 figures, those type of men are looking for women that she said. Not that there's not room for a woman that's, because I'm not one of those women. I can't wear a bikini without, you won't see some cellulite.
You won't see a whole lot.
And a few little things jingling.
Yes.
So, but I think that that's what she was trying to say, that those men are so privy to certain things that even the woman who, like a quote unquote normal man would think is so ideal, they would pass by because they could get, you know, this woman that's like, you know, in whosever eyes it is, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Is it superficial? Of course it's superficial.
It is.
You know, of course it's superficial, but yeah, that's my takeaway of what she's saying.
Okay.
Saying, I'm just like, women don't get it. Like, you need to swim in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Swim in your lane. Yeah. Mr. Pope don't mind these stretch marks. Mr. Pope don't mind this little bit of cellulite. You know what I'm saying? But there's men at certain levels who date at certain levels that is, you know, physically speaking, they're used to perfection. And right or wrong, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that's right. It's just reality, you know? Men don't look at it like, let's be a power couple. That's a woman thing. Man, that is real, Rebecca. I think a lot of women don't realize that. Men don't think like that. That, you know, you're powerful, successful man.
I have to disagree with her on that part.
Okay.
Because I do know men who sit and say, wow, we make such a power couple. Like,
okay.
Yeah, and so it's what you bring to the table that makes you a power couple. Doesn't necessarily, for me, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm rich, you're rich, we're gonna bring our 100, you know,
our riches together.
Exactly. When I think of a power couple, I think about, oh my God, we both have these same goals. We're gonna try to execute them, or I have goals, you have goals, and sky's the limit for us. Like that motivation, that determination, that support for one another. I think that's what makes a power couple, not necessarily how much riches we can kind of put together when we get together.
Right. I mean, I agree with you on that perspective. To me, what she was saying was that a power couple is not a thing that a man says. And you're saying that you know men that have said that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen. For me right now, I definitely want somebody who is successful, who is I want to know how they treat. I want to know how their character is. I want to know how they treat their mother. If they have a daughter, how you treat your daughter. I want to know how you treat the women in your life. That's going to be very reflective of who you are in your character. Me right now, I want to know more about character, but this is me doing self development and all that, kind of taking inventory of myself. Like all this stuff that they're saying, you know, it's true. You know, we don't want to sometimes look at brutally honest stuff like that and be like, you know, oh, how dare they say that? But it's like, this shit is really going on. That's why they can give commentary on it.
It really is.
You know, hey, let's go on.
I hear you.
Money. He wants a woman for peace and love and great sex and stroke his ego, and he's proud to have her on his arm when he goes out. It's kind of like that whole package, you know, for men thing. But that's about it. And as long as you're like a really great woman, you can be great friends, and you know, the compatibility is there and everything. But he's not looking at another millionaire woman like, let me be with her because she's a millionaire.
Yeah.
That is not how men think. And so women, you know.
Do you think it could be a little bit of a control thing on their end?
It could be, you know, depending on who the person is, or it could be what she's saying, that men don't care about that. They just want to make sure when they're at that level that they have somebody that's on their arm that's going to turn heads. So you having money doesn't even matter to them. It's what she's really saying. You having money doesn't matter to them because they have enough money for the both of us. So what she's saying that these men need their women to bring to the table is beauty.
That's it.
It's beauty, right? Is their body and you know, that's it. Or you know, or good sex when they get home. She said they want the men that have a peace of mind. You know. You know, this is
doing that. It's very lonely because first of all, there's not a lot of men in those categories, and then on top of that, like I say, you're gonna be chasing men who don't want you. So, I women don't like it, but you have to understand this is back to non-traditional. Very successful women making very good money, owning companies or having very high salaries and very high titles, you know, in these companies and stuff. That's new.
Yeah.
You're in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is not that. This is modern. Yeah. That is not traditional. You're not a traditional woman. I
think actually there might be the word. There's truth, and everything that she stated.
Yeah,
there's truth in everything that she stated.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, this is the reason why these girls and they'll go and do the whole plastic surgery from head to toe. Why they try to surround themselves in that social life, right? Trying to bag that man with the bag, because they know that the beauty and the sex is what's going to keep them, is what's going to draw them in, rather.
Right. I was going to say it's not going to keep them, but it's going to
draw
get
them in.
Right.
Draw
Right.
them in.
Right.
And so, so she has a lot of truth. Men will really want that woman to look like something.
Right. But it's like, you know, it's and don't feel bad because you think, there's nothing wrong with dating somebody who is not a football player, or they're not, you know, the CEO of the company and stuff. All of those things nice. I guess they could be. I've never dated a CEO or a football player. I mean, I digress. But you know, yeah, I think they made a lot of good points that people need to take, continue to say, you know, am I just looking for somebody just because of money? Are my standards, and I don't want to say too high because I don't want to make people feel like they're settling, but at some point, you know, you gotta zhuzh a little. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you want this man with a Bentley, and you want him with the 6 figures, and you want him with the abs. Honey, I know for me, I don't have no abs. And I don't have, I mean, they coming. They coming. I don't have those 6 figures right at this very moment. Mm-hmm. Am I taking steps to that? Am I working hard? Am I doing things I'm supposed to be doing? Yes. Do I take, am I sustaining myself, paying my bills and doing all those kinds of things? Yes. So, that's why I said my list kind of like changed. I remember we did an episode on that, like, what's your list for? Like,
yeah.
I would have to start moving character up on that list. You know what I'm saying? I would have to start moving character up on that list. But finances, yes, I do want somebody that's comfortable.
Yes.
Sis, I want somebody that's comfortable. I'm at a point where I don't want to be like, oh, I want to wait. I have to wait to go on a vacation. Like, you know what I mean? Like
we want to be able to see.
Yeah, and I'm all for the blue collar guy, I'm all for whatever, but it's like, you want to be comfortable, at least, you know what I'm saying? You don't want anybody coming with bad credit, and a man, he don't want me coming with bad credit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what you think, sis? What's your closing on this?
Women need to think realistically. These are things that we dream about. We dream about the Prince Charming on the white horse, the rich man coming. And this is not a Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman is a movie, We have to be realistic and to know that the men that's out there, chances are they're not the ones that we're going to meet, are not making these 6, 7, 8 figure dollars a year.
But like she was saying, that pool is very small. It's a very small percentage of men that are making 7 figures or in that 1% or 6 foot tall. And, it's a very small percentage. And then you got to account for the brothers that's in jail, the brothers that are gay, the brothers that, that we just won't even have no access to. So, then the pool gets even smaller. So it's like,
And then some women, they kind of give up on our brothers because it's like they're looking for all this superficial thing and all this cushion for their future, not giving that brother an opportunity, looking at the character, seeing what their potential, seeing what their goals are. You might pass up on an individual because they may not be where you want them to be at this very moment, but in a few years, they, might be.
Now, but I will say one thing for me. I'm not going if you agree or not. At this age that we at right now, I'm a little past potential. Like you should be moving. Yes. Right. You should be in your whatever it is that you're doing. You should be in it. You know what I'm saying? Are you working? Are you striving to still make it better and gains? Yeah. But I'm past the age of potential.
Oh no, yeah, because you can't be at home and you can't be. I'm looking for a job. No,
I can see that he's going to be. He's looking. No, you should know.
No,
because everybody who I'm dating now is a full-grown man.
Yes,
okay? So he should know.
Hello, we had a completely different demographic. If I were in my 30s, in my 20s, then
right, like somebody in their 20s, even early 30s. Yes, give brothers what. You see with a lot of potential. He's a good achiever. Yes, absolutely good. Like, I think that what happens as well is that, okay, you got this man now with the nice body, the good looks and all that kind of stuff. But now we need to bring some potatoes, some meat and potatoes. It needs the whole meal got to come together now. You know what I mean? Like it's too much of that around him. Those type of men, everywhere he looks, those women are around him. So now what are you going to do to not just to make him whole, to make your own self whole? You don't want to just keep somebody just because you got good.
The Vajayjay.
Hello. You don't want to keep somebody just because you got a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? You want to have some substance. Then when you start, where does that come into? That's when you have to start developing that. And that's what I think they miss out on when men leave them. Then they try to go to the next one and do the same game again. And then it just becomes a terrible cycle for them.
I agree. And then I was also thinking about like a lot of the people who, not just celebrities, but people who make it big in their field.
Right.
And they start off with their girlfriends, long-term girlfriends or fiancés or wives who do not look like what society thinks they should look like to be with this person at this level. And what happens? they move on to the person that looks like
Right.
what society dictates as being the perfect woman. And that
usually lasts for 2.5 seconds.
Exactly. Because it's completely superficial. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. It's
the
crazy.
It's powerful, but you
gotta have more. A relationship has to be more than just money and sex.
It has to be.
It has to be more than that, because when you get old, when somebody's sick, when something happens, like what is this good body going to do with that? And like the money, you can't take it to the grave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that people are just thinking about the now. What I can have now. I can live in this house now. I can have all this fancy stuff now. They don't want it in the future. They want it for now. And they don't think about the future. I don't really think that they think about the future. Everything is in the present. For me, it's like the keeping up with the Joneses type of thing.
Right. And who are the Joneses? And who are these people that you're trying to keep up with? Like, live your life for what makes you happy and stop trying to be accountable to anybody else. Because you have people that, first of all, money is not going to bring you happiness.
More money, more problems.
We've come across, plenty of people with money and they're sick and they wish they had your life because you're well. You know what I'm saying? So that money don't mean shit. So you just live your life so that you can, you got to find more substance than just, it has to be more than just money and sex.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. A little different spin this week.
It was.
I liked it. Okay.
Yes, me too.
Right. So next time we'll see you right on
Two Puerto Ricans and a Black Girl. Sissy will be joining us next week, hopefully.
We miss you, Sissy.